If you've had a snake plant for 10, maybe even 30 years, and you've never once seen it bloom, you're not alone. Most snake plant owners have never seen a single flower, and most of them think it's just rare or random or some kind of spiritual sign. But here's what I need you to know. Your plant has been trying to bloom. Every year, it gets ready, and every year, something stops it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that something is. There are 4 specific mistakes that block the natural blooming process, and once you remove them, something remarkable happens. You might wake up one morning to find delicate white flowers releasing a fragrance at night that fills your entire room. But first, you need to understand what's really happening inside your plant, because almost everything you've been told about snake plant blooming is incomplete. Most people think snake plant blooming is rare, almost like a miracle. Some say it's a spiritual sign, a blessing on your home. Others say it's pure luck. And honestly, if you search online, you'll find video after video mixing old superstitions with half-explained science until you can't tell what's real and what's just a good story. But here's the thing. Snake plant blooming isn't rare. It isn't random. And it definitely isn't a miracle. The reason most people never see it happen has nothing to do with luck, and everything to do with 4 very specific mistakes that almost every snake plant owner makes, without even realizing it. Once you understand what those mistakes are, everything changes. Because your plant isn't broken. It isn't unlucky. It's been ready to bloom for a long time. So let me show you what's actually happening inside your plant, starting with a piece of science that might surprise you. First, let's clear up the biggest misunderstanding about snake plant blooming. Your snake plant needs to reach a certain maturity before it can even think about flowering. For most varieties, that's somewhere between 3 and 10 years. So if your plant is young, be patient. It's not ready yet, and that's completely normal. But here's where it gets interesting. Once a snake plant is mature enough, it doesn't bloom because you take great care of it. In fact, it's almost the opposite. Snake plants bloom in response to what scientists call mild environmental stress. A period of dryness, a slight drop in temperature, a signal from the environment that says, conditions are changing. Better reproduce now, while you still can. This is a survival mechanism that goes back millions of years. In the wild, snake plants grow in the rocky, dry regions of West Africa. They evolved to sense seasonal shifts, and flowering is their response to those shifts. Gardeners all over the world keep discovering the same pattern. Their snake plant bloomed precisely when they stopped trying so hard. When they forgot to water for a few months. When they moved the pot to a cooler room. When they basically neglected it. That's not a coincidence. That's biology. Now, you might have also heard that snake plants purify your air, thanks to a famous NASA study. And yes, NASA DID proved these plants can filter toxins like formaldehyde and benzene. But here's what most videos won't tell you. That study was done in sealed laboratory chambers. In your living room, you'd need hundreds of plants to make a real difference. The real reason snake plants are remarkable isn't air purification. It's their incredible ability to sense and respond to stress, the exact same system that triggers flowering. So here's the key insight, and I want you to really take this in. Your plant doesn't bloom because it's happy. It blooms because it senses change and decides it's time to reproduce, while conditions still allow it. And if your plant has not bloomed after years of care, it's almost certainly because something in your routine is preventing that stress signal from ever reaching the plant. Which brings us to the 4 most common blockers. Blocker number 1, overwatering. This is the single biggest reason snake plants don't bloom, and it's the easiest to fix. If you water your snake plant on a set schedule, say every week or every 2 weeks, you are almost certainly overwatering it. Snake plants store water in their thick leaves. They are designed to go long stretches without a drink. Here's the rule. Let the soil go completely. Bone dry between waterings. In summer, that usually means watering every 2 to 3 weeks. In winter, once a month, or even less. And here's the test. Stick your finger about 2 inches into the soil. If there is any moisture at all, wait. Only water when it's dry, all the way through. Blocker number 2, too much space. This one surprises a lot of people. If your snake plant is sitting in a pot that's too big, it will put all its energy into growing roots and leaves, not flowers. Snake plants actually prefer to be slightly root-bound. That gentle squeeze around the roots sends a signal. Space is limited. Time to reproduce. The sweet spot is when you can see roots just starting to peek through the drainage holes at the bottom. That's your plant telling you, I'm ready. Don't rush to repot. Only move to a slightly larger pot when the roots are so crowded, they're pushing the plant up out of the soil. Blocker number 3, no seasonal variation. In the wild, snake plants experience distinct wet seasons and dry seasons. That contrast between seasons is what triggers the flowering response. But indoors, most of us give our plants the exact same conditions year-round. Same watering, same light, same temperature. And that constant, unchanging environment actually prevents the plant from flowering. The fix is simple. Mimic the seasons. In spring and summer, water normally and give plenty of bright light. In fall and winter, cut back, water less. Let the plant experience cooler nighttime temperatures. Around 60 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. That seasonal contrast is your plant's signal that it's time. Blocker number 4, wrong light. Snake plants are famous for surviving in low light. And yes, they will survive. But surviving and thriving are 2 very different things. To bloom, a snake plant needs at least 6 hours of bright, indirect light every day. That's the energy it needs to produce flowers. Too little light means not enough energy. Direct afternoon sun means leaf damage. The sweet spot is a bright room with filtered light near a window, but not directly in one. If your plant has been sitting in a dark corner for years, that's likely one of your blockers, right there. So let's put it all together. Here's your complete blooming protocol, and I'd encourage you to write this down or take a screenshot. Spring and summer, place your plant in bright, indirect light for at least 6 hours a day. Water every 2 to 3 weeks, only when the soil is bone dry at 2 inches deep. Keep it in a snug pot. Feed with half-strength fertilizer once a month. Fall and winter. This is the critical period. Reduce watering to once a month at most. Let nighttime temperatures drop naturally. Around 60 degrees is perfect. Cut back on fertilizer completely. Let the light levels decrease as the days naturally get shorter. Soil should be a well-draining mix. Equal parts regular potting soil, perlite, and coarse sand. Works beautifully. Good drainage is non-negotiable. And the most important ingredient of all? Patience. This isn't a weekend project. You can't force a snake plant to bloom in a month. What you're really doing is recreating the seasonal rhythms of West Africa, where this plant evolved over millions of years. Remove the blockers, give it time, and let nature do what nature has been doing long before any of us were here. Now, here's the beautiful part of this story. In many cultures around the world, from West Africa to the American South to parts of East Asia, grandmothers placed snake plants by the front door. Not just for decoration. They believed the plant protected the home, and when it bloomed, the whole family would celebrate. For a long time, scientists dismissed this as superstition, old wives' tales, but here's what those grandmothers were actually observing. A snake plant that blooms is a plant living in a stable, well-balanced environment. The air is good. The temperature shifts with the seasons. The soil isn't waterlogged. Everything is in harmony. They didn't call it mild environmental stress or CAM photosynthesis. They called it a blessing. They called it a sign of a good home. Different vocabulary, same observation. Those grandmothers didn't have botanical training. They didn't have NASA studies. But they had something just as valuable: generations of watching, generations of paying attention, generations of learning. From a plant that has been teaching patient gardeners the same lesson for thousands of years. And the lesson is this: you don't force good things to happen. You create the right conditions, and then you wait. One of our viewers shared something remarkable. A snake plant that's been in their family for over 100 years, passed down through generations, and it still blooms every single year. That plant has outlived its original owner. It survived world wars. It's been moved from house to house, repotted by different hands, and it keeps flowering. If a century-old plant can still bloom, yours certainly can too. Your plant is ready. It's been ready. The question isn't whether it can bloom, it's whether you'll remove what's been stopping it. And when it does bloom, maybe months from now, maybe next year, you'll wake up one morning to that sweet fragrance filling your room, and you'll know you didn't force it. You just got out of the way. If your snake plant has ever bloomed, tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if it hasn't bloomed yet, come back and tell me when it does. Until next time, happy gardening.